Welcome to the Roy Anthony every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is
Anthony
anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick every Tuesday.
Everything is going
every
down.
Thursday.
They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie.
Yo, on the weekends, the Roy Anthony
Every
Show. It's
Tuesday.
during the week, homie. The Roy
Every
Anthony
Thursday.
Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a
Tap
in before we gotta
Tap
go.
in.
What you listening to? The Roy Anthony
Every
Show. Come on
Tuesday.
and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony
Every
Show.
Thursday.
It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Co-host
Tap in.
Big Hank. We getting it. What you think? It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Hey man, this is Roy Anthony, man. I'm sorry. Roy Anthony's been just doing it, man. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show podcast with my co-stars who'll be popping in. That's Big Hank Norman, Miss Cynthia Joy Towner, and we represent the WO platform. As you can see that I am, man, I've been running. I just flew in. I left Kansas City, Kansas to get here to Long Beach. We have a major comedy concert on tonight, but I like to give my credits, man. And if it seems a little choppy, it's because some of the internet access we was messing with was a little flaky. So I might be chopping up on some people. Just be bearing with it. We're not going to have a long show today because today's show is laughter is the best medicine, because you know we're prepping for our comedy show tonight. But WO Entertainment, which is under the platform, which was created, which is a platform that was to bring awareness to how our military, active and non-active veterans commit suicide on a daily rate. And we want to let them know that we really care for them, that we don't want them to commit suicide. So the Roy Anthony Show, we pride ourselves on having a conversation, you know, letting you know that it's not a confrontation, it's a conversation. And it's to let you know that there's a lot of things that you may be going through in a hard way or whatever, and find that some other people like myself, Big Hank, Cynthia Joy, some of our guests that pops in, that we've been through similar situations, hoping that you can relate and give it over to God. See, I'm not that religious person. I'm a spiritual person who believes in God, who is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. And he gave me salvation through his son, Jesus Christ. That's my beliefs. There's no point of debating with me about it, because what I've been through, and the only person I could call was Jesus, and through Jesus to the spiritual God, because that's what he told us to do, is when we pray to say, Our Father who art in heaven. You understand how to be thou name, thou kingdom come, thy will be done. Now we're not that pacifist. I'm not that pacifist Christian. You know what I'm saying? You know, my grandmother said, what if you turn the other cheek? That's being rational. And she said they try to hit you in the second cheek. That's when you balls your fists up in the name of Jesus and try to knock them out with the power of the Holy Spirit. You understand me? So once again, like I said, we come under the WO platform, which was created by Richie King. His stage name as a comedian is AKA it's Redneck Pimp. That's his stage name, Redneck Pimp. and the co-creator Goose, along with our social producers Blue Phoenix, Eighth and Daily. Then we have our good friends around the nation, like the BV Nation, that's the Backwood Veterans based out of Oregon. Then we have the Long Beach All Stars that's based out of Long Beach, Watts, Linwood, and Compton. Then these are veterans and non-veterans alone in all areas. Then the WO platform, which is created by cats from around the U.S. And we're viewed around the country and in other countries. And I said, me and my producer, he gives me always the analytics. So I'm gonna show the analytics of the different countries that be watching us on our shows. Then I want to give a shout out to our own personal family, friends, associates, and those who don't like us. As you know, that we're all professional comedians, and we use this platform every Tuesday and Thursday as 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Like Cynthia Joy says, she's in Mountain Time, so we 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and we know that it's then 1 p.m. on the East Coast time. And we do research, and as a stand-up comedian, we use this platform just to talk, conversate. I've been coming up with subjects and topics and everything. And like we've been saying, that tonight we are we'll be having our show. That's the stand-up comedy. We got a different flyer because you can see Big Hank on one side and Little Rob, one of our brothers comedians who's part of our group, he's on one side. This is an older flyer, but it's the same place. So why I'm showing this is because on this Thursday night, March the 7th, we'll be kicking off our first show. This area is called Millionaires Row because you can park your cars for free, your yachts, and your boats. I'm for real. I'm not lying. You can look it up. Mulaney's Grill, one hell of an Irish bar. And we know that people say, well, I'm not in Long Beach to see it or California to see it. You can watch us anywhere who got YouTube. Tell your friends and everything. Matter of fact, you can subscribe to our channel, Roy Anthony Live on YouTube. So when we go streaming live tonight, which will be at 8 p.m., we need to change this. I said I'm going to edit it up. We need to change this, but it's going to be 8 p.m. So turn on your channel at 7:50 just so you can be certain. But it's going to be 8 p.m. and stuff instead of, matter of fact, I'm going to change what I'm talking to you so you can see what I'm talking. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then it'll be just 11 p.m. Eastern time. So let me show that. So those who was not in California, or if you're in California, you ain't close to Long Beach, you can go to YouTube. You just put in Roy Anthony Live. There's no monetary cost to you. Seeing us live, you come to 168 North Marina Drive. That's in the Long Beach area, downtown the Harbor area. Jeremy Daniels, what's up, bro? He said he's present. Good looking, bro. Good to see you in the house. But anybody who's in other states, watch our show tonight. Tell your friends. You can go to YouTube, Roy Anthony Live. You can see our stand-up comedy show tonight that's hosted by Big Hank. And we got a major lineup tonight. Major lineup. I'm loving the lineup tonight. We got of course, Big Hank is going to be hosting the show. Then the first comic we have is Slinky V. He was part of the dancing group that taught Michael Jackson how to dance, literally. And he has, man, you talking about comical. I mean, he's hilarious. He's going to be kicking off our show tonight. Then we have Carol Mulgrave, one of the most talented sisters in comedy. Then we have my man, Roger Rod. I call him White Chocolate. He's a funny brother. Then we have my man, Little Rob, who is professional comedy. Everybody who's a Latino. Now, Roger Rod's a white guy. Little Rob's a Latino guy, which I don't like to go by race. and then yours truly, Roy Anthony, is going to be headlining. But we letting everybody know our comedy is diverse. Our audience is diverse. What I want to talk about, and that's why the subject today, which befitting because of our show tonight, laughter is the best medicine. Now, that's what the word of God telling you, that laughter is the best medicine. I know it's hard to try to laugh when you found out something like you got a cancer, or you got diabetes or high blood pressure. On a scientific level, I'm not going to say on the spiritual, we're going to go scientifically. And I've stated this before, you can look it up. When you laugh wholeheartedly, there's an endorphin that releases from your brain. You ever been laughing so hard and the back of your head gets tight because your cerebellum, which is the control system of your full nervous system, there's a part of the brain that releases an endorphin that goes through your whole body that heals every single disease or ailment in one's body. Now, this is a scientific truth. This been reported overly and overly where people was facing their deaths at the hospital. And if you ever know, you can call a hospital, you can find out for yourself that they will have comedians to come in to try to make the people laugh who's laying on their deathbeds. I remember this one comedian, there was a older guy. He was like on his last piece of leg, right? He's not waiting on his last leg. He's looking at dying. Nothing's working, nothing and everything. The comedian came in, you know, and it's challenging, period, because as a comedian, just to make healthy people laugh is challenging, let alone somebody who's facing death. And he said something that sparked the older guy to laugh, and he started laughing, and all of a sudden, all of his vitals became like if he was in his 30s. This man was, and so it's a proven fact. The only thing the scientists can't understand is that when they dissect the brain, once a person dies, they try to dissect the brain, and they can't get to this endorphin because the endorphin only is come out when a person is living and releases that on a functioning body. That's amazing, isn't it? And no man has been able to duplicate that. You can cut off people's nuts, but you can't make them laugh. They still working on how to place a penis on somebody and make it work. As Bruce Jenner, what happened when he's Caitlyn Jenner now, you know, he didn't get his nut sacks removed because he wanted to be a woman who meet with a man. He wanted to be a woman so he can be a lesbian, and found out it didn't work because doctors can't give you feelings. They can numb your feelings, but they can't give you feelings. They can extract physicalities of taking off your penis and your balls, but they can't add penis and balls. See, that's why you want to think twice before you think about removing. It seems like they're easier to remove people's nuts than it is, you know, to get a tooth pulled sometimes. But anyway, laughter scientifically releases an endorphin that actually helps you heal every part of your body. This is the truth. Sometimes Miss Starlet said, "How you doing, Miss Starlet? Laughing is always good for the soul. I'm looking forward to laughing at the cool spot tonight." Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Laughter, and people say, "Well, Roy, why do you do stand-up comedy?" Well, I've been in this position since I was a kid, and it seemed like it just was befitting for me. It was easy for me to stand up in front of people and want to entertain them. Now, am I always happy? No. It makes me feel joy sometimes to see other people laughing, and then it'll make me laugh. Because I guess, you know, some people call me a minister of comedy. Sometimes I don't go with that because I may say some words that a typical minister in your church ain't going to use, right? But the way I dissect the subject. Now, like I said, in the physical realm of laughter, it does release endorphins that will heal you. Now, spiritually, God told us laughter is the best medicine. Sometimes we can say to ourselves, how in the world can I laugh through this? Well, it's so easy to be mad. It's so easy to be disappointed. I tell people stand-up comedy is, even to me, it's harder than when somebody wants to sing in front of a group, because music is called an accompaniment. That means the music is accompanying you with you. A comedian just has them, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no music playing. It's just your thoughts and your perception of the world, and you explain that. And that's what I do. For real. Big Hank does it. He's the host of the show. Man, we was together last night for a minute, and how God blesses him and blesses me, and to bring us to connections. And then we got other comics that feels where everybody's on this stage that comes on Roy Anthony Live are true comedians. And then I want to say this to comedians, if you're a comedian out there, always know this: a building, a place that's known for being a comedy center or center of comedians doesn't make that make you a comedian. A building doesn't make you a comedian. You make yourself is that comedian. I pride myself that I went through the things of going down. I want to go at this comedy spot. I want to go to this comedy spot and stuff. And I realized that I'm a professional comedian. If I was at a warehouse in a certain location and I have someone like my man Navigator / Media One who understands my comedy, that we can take our comedy anywhere and perform and rock it better than the people who's established. Because I had somebody hit me with a messenger, said, they didn't understand. I was just trying to find out what the price was for people for 10 to 15 minutes. They took it as that. I was probably saying, what? They said, well, I usually charge $150, but since you know such and such and such, I charge you $75. So my response was, oh, is that what the price is for someone to do 10 to 15 minutes? Because see, Roy Anthony doesn't never mind paying comedians. It's amazing how comedians wants to come to my shows to get paid, because it shows like I'm trying to do Jerry Buss at this here. You understand me? And I question other people's hustles because I'm hustling, and it seems like people on my job the way I hold a piece of steel, talking about the microphone. But anyway, the lady said yes, because when I do comedy at the real comedy spots, and she named the name, I don't like the name drop locations, they pay me, they give me the light at 8 and I'm off at 10 and they pay. And so they was misconstrued thinking that I'm saying that you need to just make this amount. My thing is, I don't know, because I got pushed to be a headliner in 2007, and only because no one wanted to come on after me. And the promoter said, I got to make you the headliner. I want you to be at the Queen Mary. This is the truth. I was just happy to be whatever spot they gave me, and I was trying to hit it in the paint. And I tell any comedian, I don't care, don't let nobody tell you dummy down your comedy or whatever. You hit them with what God tells you to do. If you pass fighting your inhibitions and stuff, hit them. I don't care who it is. Don't let nobody tell you to dummy down your comedy. And so other major headliners didn't even want me to feature for them, because they know I'm trying to hit it and knock it out. I'm trying to Mike Tyson the audience and stuff for real, and tackle their uber gobbler and their cerebellum with this laughter and let their body heal. I ain't worried about this cat trying to get views. I'm trying to make these people know that I'm here to make you healed. You feel? We get you healed now. So when they said that, I was like, well, for one, let me explain something to you. There's no such spot as a real comedy spot. I want to shoot this to anybody. It's a spot where cats who hone on the trade of how they do their stand-up, and they go to this particular spot. Me, I'm brave enough and confident enough. We're at the harbor in Long Beach. I've been down there with Richie King, aka Redneck Pimp, down there in Jamesport, Missouri. At first, when he told me, I said, "Ooh, that sounds like one of them places that used to have slave trades." Jamesport. But I went down there and I rocked the house. I was the only black, because laughter is not about race. It's about expressing your views and catching other people to accept what type of views you are showing. It's my point of view. My point of view is that I am sorry about that. My point of view is that I am a person who does not have inhibitions when on the stage, and I tell the things as I see it. Whether I'm the pity of my joke, but I would never tell anybody your little show. Or, well, I go to a real show. You are the real show. I don't care if I'm doing it at somebody's barbecue. I was trained that you leave your ass on the stage. You make every show I do, I make sure that I'm gonna do better than this was if this was my last show. If I agree to do your show, like I agreed to go, it wasn't Carl Loomis asked me, it was my gift to me, because people know I'm a professional comedian and I'm going to have you crying, laughing, that I'm gonna do comedy at their reception. They getting married July the 7th. My man Carl Loomis and Caitlin and their beautiful kids. They're making it work. They already married, but they making it official on the eyes of God. They already married, but and we're gonna talk about that one show later on. But they already married, so I committed to do stand-up comedy on their reception. Now, guess what? Anytime I agree to do stand-up, I'm hitting it with giving it your, oh my goodness, I'm leaving my butt on the stage. I'm kind of tired when I get off, because I done left it out there. I do every show like it's my last show. So if I leave there ready reception and die, they be like, whoa, man, I got footage Roy gave. This one of the bombing shows. Tonight, anytime people pay, especially see me, or I agree really to do someone's spot, I always be like, can you come back? Because I'm gonna rock the crowd. I'm not into all this politics and everything. I've been noticing that, and it comes with the territory, me, Big Hank, navigating the comedians, that what we're doing, because if you notice, we are persistent. You constantly seeing Roy Anthony live, and it's not about me. If you get to know me personally, I'm an humble cat. But someone's name had to step out there, and Roy Anthony, I'm Roy Anthony, but the Roy Anthony Live is not made of me. Roy Anthony Live is made like Big Hank, Brendan Peters, Navigator / Media One, Little Rob, all the comedians that come and rock with us on the podcast is Big Hank and Cynthia Joy, with Richie King and the whole WO Entertainment, from his beautiful wife and kids and everything. For real, my mother, we're part of that WO family under the Roy Anthony. I'm under their podcast, under their platform. My podcast, the Roy Anthony Show podcast. But then the Roy Anthony Live is under all of our entertainment. Richie will be out here in Long Beach. He's ready to perform. We got people all over the U.S. want to perform. You want to perform on our show, we don't know you, register. All you got to do, I'm going to put the banner up there. All you got to do is register at royanthonylive.com. Go to www.royanthonylive.com. I don't even think I put nothing on there. royanthonylive.com. That's the best way I can tell you. Go to royanthonylive.com, and we are, this is where, if you're a comedian, don't let other people tell you what you can and cannot do. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, who are you to be funny? Man, if I listen to people, I'd be still on the back of a trash truck or something. I never roll on the back of a truck and getting trash. That's my goals and ambitions. It's just ride shotgun trash truck. No, if you have a belief, if you're a singer, get out there and sing. If you feel like you need a little training, go work with somebody. They got choirs and stuff like that. Join your local choir. Get your tone, your tuning right. If you're an instrument player, play the instrument to your best. Ask God to bless you. One of the things that me and Big Hank does is we pray in. We pray before the shows. I talk with my mother. It's a ritual that I have. My homes wear the same underwear. When before a game, I call my mother before I go do a set. And she'll say, I just got to hear her say, make them pee their pants. And when she say that to me, it was like, oh boy. And I tell any comedian, when you get the nervous feelings in your stomach, keep that. Every show, I always have the little butterflies in my stomach because the desire of my soul and the transformation of me becoming regular from just regular Roy to Roy Anthony. Because when I'm on that stage, I have no inhibitions. It's going to come and I'm going to say it right. And I still work off of facts. I just make it humorous and stuff, you know. I do my research. I'm going to make it funny and stuff. So I just want you to know that we take our laugh. That's our trade. That's my trade. Comedians, I give shouts out to all throughout all the comedians I work with from the Midwest. I give a shout out to them. They know Top Food Panda. He knows who he is and stuff. I don't even have to say anything, you know, about my brothers, you know, Big Hank. I just told them Roger Rob, Little Rob. Then we got my man Melrose. You got Black Rosebud. You know, for real. Brother McFly, hoping I'm saying that right. Larshia Walters. You know, you got my man Chris Simpson, Grace Frogger. You know, these are different races of comedians because guess what? If you're on stage now, I'm gonna get to another thing. If you're a comedian, this is what Howie Mandel told me personally. I was still green light. I was green at the Laugh Factory. They used to have you wait. You have to wait all day long. Okay, so every Tuesday, from 98 through 99, I would go to the Laugh Factory on Tuesday mornings and get there by 5:45 in the morning to sign my name on the list. And it was amazing. I would come on still number 7 and number 8. And then you had to protect your name all day long by standing out there. So I would always take Tuesdays off from work and stand out there from 5:45 in the morning till 6 p.m. that night for when the lady would come out with the official paperwork that's going to go inside because the owner, Jamie Masada of the Laugh Factory, and you go in and you don't, and she'll take the major list in. I seen people fighting. Somebody did roll calls. So somebody come in and they do a roll call and that person ain't around, they'll scratch the name off, right? I was there to always protect my name. So at 6 o'clock, the lady would take the form in of all the actual comedians. And they do a roll call, write down officially. Then you come back at 8 p.m. just to do 3 minutes. You talking about paying dues. You talking about a 15-hour a day just to be able to do 3 minutes. And it used to be where Jamie Masada would be like, after you do your set, yeah, Roy, I like you, but I need to know a point of view. What's your point of view? That's where you get that accent, Indian accent. What's your point of view? And so I see you in 3 weeks. So it got to where I did 3 weeks for like 3 or 4 months, every 3 weeks. And then I started being every 2 weeks. Then after 3 months, I started doing every week. And every week, you know, he evaluates you after each set. And I even had the people laughing, right? And he'll say, what's your point of view? What's your point of view? But I was talking, I went, Howie Mandel invited me over to the bar. He was sitting there having a drink. And he told me, because as a kid, I used to watch Howie Mandel. He used to have this role where he was a big baby, had this glove on and stuff, right? And so I said, he said, man, if you have materials that can make everyone laugh, you got blacks laughing, whites laughing. He said everybody else is in between it. There's a millionaire. He said, hung up on that. So I kept that note in my ear, but Jamie Masada was constantly saying, Roy, what's your point of view? What's your point of view? And then after 4 or 5 years, it clicked on me because one of my partners seen me. One of my partners went with me, and I had to do a white audience, and I was using the same material, and we was laughing. He's like, man, I'm surprised you said. He said, you know what you are, man? You a bastard of the hood, man. And that was my point of view. I'm a ambassador of I used to say the ambassador of the ghetto. We enhanced to say ambassador of the hoods because I don't forget my roots. Then I found that other people, no matter what race, they've gone through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You've gone through the same. Okay, like when I ask people, have you ever had a spaghetti sandwich? You know you got to be kind of broke when you eat a spaghetti sandwich. Yeah, bread, there's no meat in the spaghetti. Spaghetti, you make a sandwich. Some people told me that they had wish sandwiches. They had bread, lettuce, tomato, and they wish they had a piece of meat. You don't have to be black and white. But see, because economics isn't about race. When I say I'm from the hood, doesn't mean that it's all about blacks. A lot of cats, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of blacks, there's some blacks that celebrate the hood, like honor the hood, ain't never lived in the hood. So it's not just about blacks, it's about economics. If you broke, you poor, you poor. And you could be black, white, Asian, Latino, you know what I'm saying? You dealing with it. And I know how to take my misfortunes of my life and discuss it in front of everybody. Now, Big Hank had to work. They was working the polls at the church. So if he didn't show up, it's the reason why. And Miss Cynthia Joy has been tremendously busy. But please pay attention to her on her show, SNU. Now, Wednesdays, Big Hank has a Bible study. It comes on 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Where they go over the word, and he keeps it 100 along with the other deacons there. Sundays, the church that we attend, that I'm a member of, St. Luke's Holy Baptist Church, which is based on the west side of Long Beach. Our man, Dr. Williams, got much love for him. That's what Hank called him, Doc. I call him Dr. Williams. I ain't at that level yet. And stuff, and but now I want to talk to the audience of when you see stand-up comedy. When you go, it's because you want to get out your mindset. Where we're at Mulaney's Grill, one hell of an Irish bar, it's not just the location is tranquil, but when you got good food, good drinks, a good, laughter and socialism going on, to me, it's worthwhile. To me, it's worth millions of dollars. When you see in the old sitcom, you ever notice that they still play old sitcoms like Seinfeld and George Lopez, because there's not an episode that you can't relate to that can make you laugh. There's certain episodes like the Frasier Show. There's certain episodes I can watch that all over again. Sanford and Son, I can go through the whole season 1 all the way through, give it a break about a little bit, binge on some Sanford and Son. I can binge on Mighty Python. Mighty Python had me crying, laughing, for real. Benny Hill, Richard Pryor, who made one season episode, which is hilarious. It's a classic, with writers like Paul Mooney, Robin Williams. Robin Williams used to work with Richard Pryor. They was all part of the team together. It was their comedy troupe. Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney, Robin Williams, the brother who played as the dad on Fridays. Anybody who can remember that name? I forget the brother's name. Lord forgive me. But their cast grew like that. Robin Williams got picked up by Mork and Mindy by being on the Richard Pryor show. For real, he was a comedian who wasn't scared. He wasn't scared to perform in front of with the brothers and sisters, you know. He wasn't scared at all. Now, that's why I want to get into. At our shows, our audience is always diversified. It could be 40% white, 40% black, 20% Latino, or not in no particular order. It's always been like that. What's funny is that I've had black comedians come up to me and say, "Hey man, I've never performed in front of a white audience." Then I've had white comedians tell me, "Hey man, I ain't never performed in front of a black audience." My response is, just be you. Humans are humans. If they built with a Saba Golem or whatever the thing, Abu Guba Golem, or in the nervous system, and they can see with two eyes and they smell with this instrument in the front with two holes, and they got a mouth and they got two ears, well, that's a human being. If they communicate and understand you, that's a human being. That means you're not secure with your materials, that you don't think that your materials will work outside of the race you're in. It happened. Me, I'm Roy Anthony. Whether I'm at white folks, black folks, Latinos, Asians, I'm gonna be Roy Anthony. And if you can relate to the stories I share, then there we is. You know, I've had a lot of people, just different people hit me. Everybody, I would say this too. It seems like more people is more nervous about me when I'm about to perform, those who know me, than what I am. Now, do I have excitability? Yes. But I know what I got to do in my mindset. I want to give them the best. When you see me tonight, whether you live or you're seeing it on YouTube, I'm letting you know. I'm trying to knock it out the box. I'm trying to make you laugh so hard that, you know, and then don't be scared to reach out to people. I'm going to get Navigator's information. You can reach out to Navigator, reach out to me on any of our social medias. I direct it to Navigator, work it out. Because I done rocked it down there. I've been to Tennessee. Oh, man. Ready. I want to do New York because I've done did a lot of the East Coast in certain spots, the North, the South, and the West Coast. And we let them know, you know, I am a talent from the West Coast. Big Hank is too. And a lot of comics that we do. A lot of comics that we've seen rocking down there in Hollywood and stuff seems to be comics from around other states. They really don't know that West Coast culture like we do. They make enough money and buy a little house over here, but they still unfamiliar how the West Coast really rock. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to come out and get their spill on, but they really don't understand. I represent the West Coast to the fullest. Long Beach, what they call my homestead, with a forest / Quindaro, which is in KCK. I always clean out the Quindaro. You don't feel me? So my stand-up comedy is to any race, to any platform, any place I'm at. Right now, I'm a little scrubby done. I'm about to get clean, fresh, and so clean. But I want to give a shout out to all the comedians. If you believe in something, and you believe in yourself, give it to them. Don't worry about it. As long as God is with you, give it to him. Now I'm gonna tell you and stuff. It's a spiritual thing. Don't be thinking you're gonna dog people out and then want them to come see you. And then don't be scared to invite your friends, your family, your co-workers and stuff. If you believe in it, bring them out. That's what I did. That's why everybody said, you know, I'm a person down there at the comedy store. They got an area where I think it's called the Belly Room. There's that Laugh Factory. And what they do is they want you to bring in 5 people, or, you know, you have to pay $50. And every time, and what I would do is when I had to perform somewhere, I would text everybody. I do a global text, say, look, I'm performing at this spot. Come and check out your board. I would get up to when it's time for me to sign in, and they're like, oh, did you bring people? Then Roy and oh, you straight. You got already 12 people in there, you know. Be able to bring people to see you. It looks good, especially to a promoter. You want to be this and that. You want to be known as a professional comic, taken seriously. Bring someone to your show. Stop coming in thinking that the whole network of this place is about you. Get people to come out there. If they really believe in you, they'll be there. I'm a witness. And so thank God for people like my promoter navigator, because comedians is like boxers. You only get so far as who's representing you. We have somebody who believes in me to get the people in the seats. That makes other people want to say, we want to see more of Roy Anthony. He must be saying something right. You got all these people, like we're trying to knock him out the box tonight. And this is Millionaire Row. You never know who's sitting around. This ain't no scrubby dubby spot. We at the Millionaire Row. So I'm gonna be cutting this show, today's show, a little early. I also want to welcome, there's a new crew that's part of the WO. I'm gonna get more information, their dates, and we're gonna be promoting them out under the WO Entertainment. So look up Mulaney's Grill, one hell of an Irish bar, 168 North Marina Drive. The show is gonna be hosted by Big Hank. Top comedians from Slinky V, Caramel Gray, Roger Rod, Little Rod, and yours truly, Roy Anthony. Now, we're only having these amount of comics just for the grand opening. The next night, every week, we only showcase 3 top comics. And Big Hank is the host, so he's the host, so he doesn't count. And Roy Anthony Live, sometimes I'll come up and might do 10 minutes, because if I'm headlining on a different night besides tonight, it'll just be 2 other comics along with Big Hank. But just tonight, we're kicking it off with a grand list, you know. So each week after that, you want to perform. There's comics that we know they already getting lined up. We putting them down. They be getting 15, 20 minutes. We also have commercial breaks that we have to. Right now, we're just going to be here, and Big Hank saying, are we going to take a commercial break? He's going to do a little thing. Then he's going to say we back up, because it's for editing purpose, because we're also going on the television network. Until the paperwork is signed, I can't divulge out that information. I kind of had been, but the correct way is to do it the right way. And so we're not going to divulge it out, but you're going to see where Big Hank can say, hey, we're going to go take this commercial break. Then he's going to bring it back up probably within a minute, because the only thing we got to do is cut it when we format it. So anyway, I'm Roy Anthony. I know my co-stars is busy, but Big Hank was working with the voting ballot that they got going on here in California. I guess they're voting everywhere, but they have the voting ballot at the church. So if you somewhere around the west side of Long Beach, in that Compton area, whatever, you can go vote at St. Luke's Holy Baptist Church. That's Dr. William, who is the pastor of the church. Big Hank, the lead deacon over there. They make sure that the ballots are set up. Everything is set up. They still be giving food, clothes to people, references if you need some jobs. And then Cynthia is working a lot with her Strengthen You. She is a grand supporter of that. Please look upon that. But we will hope to see you this evening. Just go to YouTube, Roy Anthony Live. remember, comedians, you know, if the reason that you want to do this, it doesn't stop you and stuff, for real. I can't stop you. Somebody say, man, I'm trying to be like you, Roy. No, you got to be you. Because if you try to be like me, boy, the journeys and stuff you're going to have to take. If I put the load of what I got to deal with and put it on your shoulders, your knee is going to be bucking a little bit. You're like, oh, snap. I didn't. Yeah, but you got to walk with that load. You understand me? And so always give everything to God. Give him all your, it says, depend on the Lord with all your strength and lean not to your own understanding. And if you don't lean to your own understanding, definitely don't lean to other people's understanding. You understand me? Wait a minute, my guest co-host, I just was talking about him, and now he pops up. Let me bring him on up and stuff. Better late than never. What's up with you, bro?
Man, what's up, Roy? What's happening with you, man? You all right?
I can't hardly hear you. You
can't hear me? You can't hear me?
You got it, man. I was just about to say, I said Big Hank up there working at the church with the ballots and everything.
No, I did the ballots already, but we are up here. We got the food.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm probably a little choppy because I'm bad internet.
Okay. All right.
You chopping up, bro. It's probably because of what I got going on here.
Yeah, probably so, man. I just wanted to make sure I checked in with you, man. You ready for the night? Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you ready?
You said, okay. I can't hardly hear you.
All right, man. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go back out. Go back out.
Yeah, man. I was just talking about it, man. And so Big Hank had a system. He's probably around there at their church. He's getting ready. He's hyped up. I was with him last night. I mean, we all hyped up. Our promoters hyped up. The owners of the place is hyped because we ain't playing. And guess what? I'm gonna tell y'all a secret before I get off. It's not a secret. I told you comedy is like a boxer. I'm trying to knock them out the box. Now, not saying I'm trying to stop the other comedians. You know, I'm letting them know. Roy Anthony said, I don't care who you are. We got the scripts. Trust me, we got sitcoms. We got movie scripts. And the thing is that we had to get our team even stronger. The comedian troops are even stronger. Let me tell you something. Be ready to see a show, a sitcom with me, Roy Anthony, Hank Norman, Melrose, Carl McGray, Little Rob, Stefan, Black Rosebud, if I haven't said that, and numerous of other comedians and talents that's going to be coming through. That sitcom right there is going to be on point. You heard it from my mouth. Now you're going to be like, what is it? What is it? It's coming. Trust that. Well, check this out, man. I know I had bad connections. Probably if I've been chopping up, just let me know. We'll be better off coming week. We'll let you know more updates. But we all hyped up about this show tonight. Let you know we're not talking about it. We about it. Roy Anthony. And I always everybody, you know, and I'll share this. I always want to be like, man, we've been over 200 episodes. I'm thinking about wondering if we should stop the show. Everybody out here, even my mother, no. And I said, okay, the message still keep going across. I'm Roy Anthony, my co-stars, Big Hank, Cynthia Joy. Cynthia Joy would say, I always say stuff. She would say, like, always know that strength is in you, and don't let nothing bring you down. Be encouraged. Big Hank would say, he would quote a scripture, but he would state, always know that God is watching you. Always know that. And me, I just say, and always know that God is watching you. That's what Big Hank would say. And if you don't think he is, he is. And I always say is, you know, just keep it 100, keep it real, give it to the Lord, and he'll work it out. I don't always say that, but I thought I'd throw that in. All right, man, we see y'all tonight. I'm Roy Anthony. God bless, man. Peace out.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in. Is this thing on? Can you hear me?